Supreme Court opinion on health care, the justices held that the federal government cannot threaten states with the loss of their current Medicaid funds if they choose not to take on the influx of millions of new Medicaid participants under the new health care law. So will states simply opt not to comply? Joining us now, Louisiana Senator David Vitter. Senator, thank you so much for your time. We've already had one governor come on the show this morning out of Florida, Rick Scott, and say they're not going to comply. Any idea what Louisiana may do in considering its next step?
I would certainly guess that Louisiana will not expand its Medicaid provisions as was suggested under Obamacare. You know, 26 states made their intentions pretty clear by challenging the whole law. You would have to assume the great majority, if not all of those 26 states at a minimum, do not want that expansion because they challenge the law on those grounds.
Okay, now that the court has ruled that this is a tax, and that's how they got to deciding to uphold it under the Constitution, there are new questions about what may be done on Capitol Hill to challenge it as far as repeal and replace. What action do you think, if anything, that the Senate can take right now? You know, Republicans, of course, in the minority, and how much do you think it'll impact Senate races as voters consider the next steps you can take?
Well, I think there'll be a lot of debate about this between now and the election, but no final action. I think the final action will occur after this election. One interesting outcome of the nature of this Supreme Court ruling in terms of holding the central piece of it a big tax, that actually makes it easier to repeal Obamacare in the Senate through what's called the reconciliation process. Not to get into the weeds, but that means a simple majority versus 60 votes. I think the ruling makes it easier to repeal a lot more, probably all of Obamacare, with a simple majority versus 60 votes.
Our understanding is the House is going to vote for a full repeal on July 11th. Obviously, Republicans control the House, and they're expecting to be able to be successful in that full repeal vote. But of course, then it comes to the Senate, where much of the House legislation languishes these days. Do you think there will be any pressure on the Senate at all, which is now controlled by Democrats and Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, now that this is called a tax, to publicly vote on this issue, or do you think it simply goes to the Senate and dies?
I think we'll get a vote. I think there'll be a huge push to get a vote in the Senate, and I think Leader McConnell will lead that, and I think eventually, sometime between now and the election, we will get a vote. That'll be very significant, particularly for the Democrats from swing states who are up for re-election right now.
Do you think the ruling has helped or hurt Republicans' efforts to regain the majority of the Senate?
Well, I was disappointed with the ruling, and I disagreed with it. I think it's, quite frankly, a goofy ruling constitutionally. But politically, it probably energizes the right all the more and helps conservative candidates and Mitt Romney.
All right, Senator David Vitter of Louisiana, thank you, sir, for your time today.
Thank you, Shannon, very much.